The whisper haunted Aaron's mind, a curse that would never fade. 6 hearts remain. After Clara's death, he was a different man. His eyes, once full of warmth, grew cold. His smile vanished. He sealed himself in silence. But every night, the same cruel, patient voice returned, a phantom in the dark. 6 hearts remain. The drought, which had held Black Hollow in its dusty grip, began to ease. A few drops fell, then a light shower. But the water, it tasted strange, metallic, like blood. The villagers didn't notice, or perhaps they chose not to. They began to call Aaron a blessed soul, a chosen one sent to bring life back to their dying town. But he knew the truth. He was no savior. He was becoming a monster. One by one, his sisters started to disappear. Each time, a lie slipped from his lips, smooth and practiced. "There's a fruit beyond the valley that calls the clouds," he'd say to one. To another, "I found a flower that blooms only in moonlight and brings the rain." And to the next, "There's a hidden spring. Its water, a gift to the sky." And each time, only Aaron returned. Each time, the sky grew a little darker, the clouds a little heavier. Each time, the rain fell a little redder. His nights were a tapestry of terrors. He'd wake up screaming, the images of 7 pale faces seared into his mind's eye. They stared at him from the darkness, their hair drifting like smoke, their eyes hollow pits of sorrow. He could hear them whisper, their voices carried on a chilling breeze that wasn't there. "Brother, why did you do it?" Soon, only one sister remained, Emily, the youngest, the gentlest. She felt the silence in the house like a physical weight. The missing laughter of her siblings echoed in every empty room. She saw the shadows that danced in her brother's eyes, a darkness that had consumed him. One night, she found him by the dying fire, his hands trembling as he stared into the empty hearth. His whisper was a broken thing, a shard of his former self. Just one more heart. One more, and the rain will never stop. Emily's heart broke, shattered into a million pieces. She stepped closer, her soft footsteps barely making a sound on the stone floor. "Aaron," she asked, her voice trembling but clear, "what have you done?" Aaron looked up, his face a pale, haunted mask. "Emily, it's the only way. I didn't want to, but the rain, the town, they need it." She shook her head slowly, tears welling in her eyes. "Then take mine. If my heart can bring rain, I will give it willingly." Aaron froze. The words struck him like a physical blow. "No, I can't. You're all I have left." A sad smile touched her lips even as tears streamed down her face. "If love is true, you shouldn't be afraid to let go." The next morning, they climbed the same hill where it had all begun. The air was thick, heavy with unspoken grief and the promise of a storm. The sky was a bruise of purple and gray, and thunder rolled in the distance like the drums of fate. The old woman's voice returned, colder than the grave itself, slithering into Aaron's mind. "Bring me the final heart, Aaron, and you shall have eternal rain." Aaron raised the knife. The polished steel gleamed in the dim light, but he couldn't move. His hands shook so violently that the blade rattled against his own fear. Emily stood still, her eyes calm, her voice steady. "Do it, brother. End it." "No, I won't." Aaron screamed, a raw, primal sound of despair. He threw the knife away, and it clattered against the rocks. He fell to his knees, his strength gone. "I can't lose you too." The wind howled, and the old woman's laughter filled the air. A cackle of pure malice that seemed to shake the very ground beneath them. "So be it. You defied me. Then you shall die with her." In a flash, a bolt of lightning split the sky. The discarded knife flew from the ground, pulled by some unseen malevolent force, and struck Emily squarely in the chest. Her body went limp, falling into Aaron's arms. And then, the rain began to pour. Not a gentle shower, but a deluge, thick, red, and warm. Aaron cried out, a scream of pure agony, but his voice was swallowed by the roaring storm. Emily's eyes fluttered open one last time. Her lips moved, her voice barely a whisper against the thunder. The rain doesn't come from blood, brother. It comes from tears. And with that, she was gone. Aaron screamed her name again and again, but there was no answer. Only the endless, deafening sound of the crimson rain. He looked up, his heart a void of despair, and saw a shadow coalescing in the clouds above. The form of the old woman, her green eyes gleaming with triumph. You brought the rain, Aaron. But it will never stop now. In that instant, another bolt of lightning struck, hitting Aaron directly. His body went rigid, an unnatural cold seeping into his bones. Before anyone could find them, his flesh began to harden, his skin turning to gray stone, forever frozen in a pose of grief, a statue of a man clutching a lifeless girl in his arms. Days passed, then weeks, then months. The rain never ceased. Rivers overflowed their banks, and the town of Black Hollow slowly drowned beneath an endless tide of red. Only the mountain remained, and at its foot, 7 small graves appeared, circling a dark stone figure. Even now, they say that when the full moon rises, people in the surrounding forests can hear 7 voices singing through the storm. A soft, sorrowful melody that echoes through the hills. Brother, you gave us rain, but it was made of blood. And deep within the woods, if you listen closely, you might just hear an ancient whisper carried on the wind as the old woman waits, her green eyes glowing. One more heart. Just one more. Thank you for listening to this story. If you were moved by Aaron's tragic tale, please like this video and subscribe for more stories from the shadows. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.